Well, hey there. Welcome to Get Up and Go Challenge Day 23. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with our challenge to guarantee that we have better results after any change or challenge that we face in our life than before we face it. And we do that by using the SOAP framework. Today we are going to talk about the P in our SOAP framework. And I call this one PR because we're looking at the 7 areas and aspects, the 7 key areas of our life: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. And this time through the SOAP framework, we are on the P of R, the PR. So the P stands for process. So we are looking at our relationship process. What are things that we can make automatic to make sure we're doing things to move us toward the result we want instead of away from the result we want? So remember, we talked about S was our story, our situation, where we are now versus where we want to be. And the rest of the SOAP framework helps us get from where we are to where we want to be. And we want to always be making progress toward the thing that we want. We want to make sure that we're growing and moving. So a couple things about yesterday's exercise. I want to show you that I actually do this stuff. I don't just, tell you to do it. I do it too. So I actually did my little grid and I filled it out for Perfect Christmas for my kids. Remember, I'm working on the relationship with my kids because they think I don't always listen to them. And you know what? They're 100% right. So Perfect Christmas, because I talked about that yesterday, why that's important. I put a signal or a way to get me to stop talking and just listen and just breathe and let them say and feel what it is that they want to feel. And then family counseling. Now, I remember I said that I kind of knew how it was going to turn out, and it pretty much did. But I added numbers on a scale of 1 to 10. Why I like the rating system and the scale of 1 to 10 as a divergent from the traditional nominal group technique is because I can do it by myself. I don't have to have a group of people to do nominal group technique. It's called nominal group technique because it's usually done with a group. But since I was just doing it myself, I have to kind of tweak the method a little bit. And I don't rate the 3 things. Now, if I was taking my whole group, my whole big list, say I brainstormed a list on my own when I'm looking at my options. If I brainstorm a giant list and I really didn't know where to start, I could do nominal group technique with that. I could say, all right, I've got a list of 100 things. What I want to get it down to 20. What are my top 20 things on this list of 100? So then I can do it by myself. But you got to find a way to tweak it if you want to be the only person doing it. So I did that. And of course, the Perfect Christmas came out on top. But I actually, as I was thinking about progress, of course, we started things. I started doing things to get ready for Christmas and to involve my kids and get them more involved in starting our own traditions. And we'll continue to move forward with that. But Christmas is only once a year. So today, when I thought about making progress and our tool for progress, the P, the progress in our relationships, the tool I want to talk about a little bit today is the idea of processes. And we talked about processes earlier in the challenge, that processes are how we do anything. So when it sounds really complicated, I actually wrote a book on how to identify processes, but it's much simpler than that, just like most everything in our lives, right? There's a really complicated way to do stuff. And as humans, we naturally complicate things. So it's this constant challenge within all of us to actually find simple solutions and go for the simpler things. So the simple way to come up with a process, a system, a habit, or a routine is to find things that work for you and just make them automatic, make them habits or routines or things that, sorry about that, things that you do all the time. Granddaughter's coming today and staying for a sleepover, so I have got to hurry and make my videos early this morning. So we talked about that, but in addition, I wanted to work on how do I actually stop talking and listen to my kids better? So I had a conversation with my daughter and my son-in-law about that. And I said, guys, well, why can't you just, have a word or something? And my daughter's like, well, Mom, you should just stop talking when we are upset, and you should just kind of know. And if I say, I'm upset, I just want to vent, then just let me go. So I think what I'm going to do, this is my system or my routine. Whenever I get when I first consciously realize, because I think that's my biggest challenge, I'm going to create my own trigger, and I am just going to make like a little pause button on a remote control on myself, little thing like this, so I don't have to actually have a remote control to pause myself. I'll probably take a deep breath and pause myself so that I remember to do so much more listening with the kids and not try to solve their problems for them. So that would be an example of creating my own trigger or creating my own process or system to get a result or create progress in the direction I want to go with my personal behavior. The thing about all of this work we're doing in the Get Up and Go Challenge is we can get other people to help us do a lot of things in life. But when it comes to how we're going to respond and react to things and how we're going to show up, how we're going to deal with different challenges and things, the processes and the things that we're going to adopt for ourselves, it ultimately lands in our lap. We want to pass the buck sometimes. We want to blame and be victims and bitch and moan and complain, but that never works because ultimately it always lands with us. We're always 100% responsible for how we feel, what we choose to say and do. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow sometimes, especially in crazy times when lots of stuff feels like it's outside of our control. And a lot of things are literally outside of our control. COVID-19 and how it's being handled for the most part has been outside the majority of our control. But we always have the ability to decide how we're going to react and respond to it. And that's part of making progress. We can get upset and we can freak out about things. And is that going to move us in the direction we want to go? Might, but probably not. So how can we set ourselves up for success by creating processes and systems and habits that work for us? So today, all we have to do is think about how did what you do yesterday work for you? For me, I talked to my daughter and son-in-law. I talked to my son too, but about different things. But I involved everybody in Christmas, and that worked for me. So I'm going to continue to involve them in the process and give them more responsibility to help out and pick out and go shopping and do things and help wrap and help decorate the tree, things like that. And then the conversation, I know that I'm going to have to create my own trigger because I can't expect other people to monitor my behavior for me, right? I have to monitor it myself. So I'm going to be going like this. If you see me going like this, it means I'm pausing myself. So today, just share one thing that you can do based on what you did yesterday that will continue to move you in the direction that you want to go toward your relationships or whatever area or aspect of your life you're working on. And if you don't know yet, because the thing that you did, you have no idea what the outcome or the result is of it yet, then maybe pick something else, but just start gaining momentum and working toward the end result that you want. The only way we get to the things that we want is one step at a time, usually. So that is our, excuse me, that is our early morning cloggy throat today. So that is our exercise, our tool, and our challenge for today. Go out, make it an amazing day. I'll be with you tomorrow, and I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I'm going to surprise you tomorrow. Look, I don't blank pages. I haven't decided yet about using the SOAP framework. You know, it's going to be about the SOAP framework, and I'll probably pick one other area or aspect of our life, and I'll just run through a pretty quick example of how you can apply the SOAP framework in a different area of our life. So we've done physical, mental, and relationships. So now what else? What else will it be? Have a great day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow. Bye.